Welcome back to the Realty.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Shy.
All right. Are we just diving in?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Literal dive. Okay. This is off of Reddit Real Estate. Is this weird, inappropriate? Home buyer. Would it be weird to try and buy a house that is not on the market? Okay, so I am a first time home buyer, live in the middle of BFE. My fiance and I are having a hard time finding a house in the area that isn't a complete fixer-upper. Yes, we do have a realtor, but there is a house that I pass on my commute to work. It's the exact location that we want to be, and outside looks like it's been kept up on. I admire it every time I pass, but it doesn't seem like anyone lives there. I have never seen a vehicle there, nor a light on, not even curtains, just shades. I looked up the property card and it's owned by one individual. I can't find anything on this person though. I was hoping they would pop up on Facebook, but I only found relatives. Please, I am not a stalker. How would I go about asking if they want to sell their house? Do I knock at the door? I'm a small woman, lol. Do I send a letter? I was hoping to find a phone number, but this person just doesn't exist. And I do not want to message their sibling asking for their sibling's phone number. Sorry if I seem like a nut job. I'm just desperate at this point.
I don't think it's a little weird, but I don't think it's that crazy. I would say have your agent send them a little something.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more professional if you have a professional do it rather than, I would be a little sketched out, I think, if just a random person was like, hey, buy your house. But
I feel like sending a postcard from your brokerage house. I have the parties. I mean, I feel like that's how a lot of agents advertise. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Or we have a buyer interested. Are you looking to sell? I actually, I don't know, probably 8 years ago when I first started house hunting, there was a house in foreclosure that I was obsessed with, and my mom, who is a broker, looked into the bank that owned the house, and she called them, sent them letters. I actually went to the house and left a letter on the door. It was a little sketchy, but I really wanted the house.
Yeah.
And nobody ever got back to us. And literally after I closed on the house in Canterbury, they sold that house. I was oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think if you like the house, there's a certain way to go about it.
Yeah, but so you had the professional aspect as well as the personal aspect, and I think the combination of the two shows seriousness. Also, that it's not just a mass marketing attempt, because we all got the mailers, and our neighbors got the mailers, and the people down the street, everybody.
Right.
But if you don't have an agent or know an agent, I don't think it would be. The worst thing they can say is no.
Yeah,
you put a note on their door and be like, "Hey, I adore your house.
Right.
If you're interested in selling ever, please give me a call."
Yeah.
Granted, because you can't put things in mailboxes. So.
No, don't touch mailboxes. No, I just put mine in the storm door.
Yeah.
Not on the mailbox either. No part of the mailbox.
No touching mailboxes.
Unless you're
correct.
Yes. Felon.
So there is an update. First off, thank you guys for the supportive feedback. We decided that we are going to drive by and stop by if there is a vehicle there, since it'll be on a Saturday. If not, I'm going to write a letter to the owner. I will keep you guys updated. Thanks again. A lot of the comments were saying I'm really leaning towards a letter.
Is there any update? What happened?
I know there's no update on what happened, just that she was going to write a letter. There's the first comment is, I was interested in a small cabin on a lake that wasn't for sale. I found the owner's name and address and sent her a letter. We met for lunch and had a great chat. She told me all about their history of the home and her childhood spending summers on the lake. She ultimately decided not to sell, but it was a great experience for me nonetheless. Some sellers might find it creepy for doing what I did, but that's okay. I am creepy.
I love the honesty.
Yeah. An OP response. I'm really leaning towards sending a letter. If you don't mind, what did you say in the letter? I feel like I'd be rude if I was just like, hey, I want to buy your house. And the lady said, I honestly don't remember exactly what I wrote, but I was honest in how much I liked the property and why I liked it, etc. Just be honest. She didn't tell me to fuck off, and she didn't call the police, which is good. So if the person you send the letter to tells you to fuck off, post here and tell us all about it. Yeah. And then somebody says, like, I would make sure it was handwritten, not typed. Oh, someone says, I actually did this. I bought one of my childhood homes from a couple who bought it after we moved out when I was 8. They were lovely people and heading towards retirement. I made a generous cash offer, and the deal was done in a few months' time. I initiated contact in my case by touching base with the former neighbors we had at the property, as they had stayed in their home after we moved and gotten to know the new owners. I ended up sending them an email. I realize this isn't possible in your case, but it's an electronic form of a regular letter. I introduced myself, spent 2 or 3 lines sharing some happy, funny memories I enjoyed there, and asked if they'd be willing to meet somewhere to discuss selling the property. I emphasized that they were under no obligation or pressure to respond, and that I'd like to respect their wishes either way. They responded that evening of that day that I sent it, and we met a week later. We still keep in touch, and they've been by to visit several times since. It can be done, but it's ultimately, obviously, up to the seller and how they feel about it.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That is a
Wholesome
good story.
content.
Yeah, right? Cute. All right. Moving right along. Not so wholesome content. This one is labeled shitpost.
Okay, alright.
Whiny rant. Some people are incredible jerks. Every Valentine's Day, I do a client appreciation thing and send out my database a QR code connected to a Starbucks account that clients can use to buy themselves a cup of coffee. Love you a latte.
Oh.
Every year, there's always some a-hole who takes advantage. Last year, I was shocked by a $70 purchase. Just got this year's final accounting, and someone spent $189. $200 at Starbucks. What can you even buy for $200 at Starbucks? This is why we as a society can't have nice things. We don't require registration or leaving a name, but I kind of want to go to SB location and ask if they remember the purchase and see if I can get a description or a name or something. ETA, the code is sent from past current clients only, not everyone in my database, and not every past client. Been doing it for years. 2023, 2024 are the first years anyone has abused it. My clients love me a latte back. 2 new referrals this week, 30 pictures of people with their coffees posted on SM. ETA 2. I'm not whining about the $200. I'm whining about how shitty people can be. It would never occur to me to take advantage like this. Most people seem to be the same, proven by my data sent that only one of the several hundred people took advantage. Most people only charged $6 to $14, expected for 1 to 2 cups of coffee. My assistant did find out what they bought. Couple of travel mugs, couple ceramic mugs, 4 pounds of different types of coffee, several drinks, and 2 Starbucks food products.
That's awful. That's terrible.
Really shitty. That's like really shitty.
Yeah, I mean, I would personally put a cap. Like, you know, don't let them spend over like $10, 12, $12 or something. Like a cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee, but
that's crazy.
She's trying to be generous. I mean, and just up until these past 2 years, it makes me like, I want to know how old the person was. Not terrible.
But also, that that person would strike me as the kind of person that holds your commission. Like, I have a feeling that was a client that was like, oh, well, I'm buying a house with you and you're going to make all of this money off of me. Because we've all had those clients that
Oh, for
think
sure.
that they are paying us a hefty commission when it's been months and months of working for them and no one would work for that kind of money. But that is just the entitlement.
The entitlement. We talked about it a little bit the other day, or one of our other videos, that the commission of selling a house doesn't just go to the agent. Like, everybody's like, oh, they're getting tens of thousands of dollars. Like, no. Like, we need to end that stigma because it gets split between so many different things.
Oh, and people think the percent is higher. I had somebody ask me the other day, they were like, oh, they were asking me some questions. They were like, on a $180,000 house, how much is your commission? 33%? And I was like,
I'm sorry, what?
I said, as a buyer's agent, too? And then I have to split that with my book,
I just can't imagine walking up to a Starbucks counter and
Purchasing $200 worth of stuff.
I have a QR code for all of this.
That's
GFY.
I'm honestly a little surprised that she like I said, doesn't put a cap on it, because I do know one of the agents from our office actually did something similar, and it was at Sawdust Coffee in Putnam.
Yeah.
And she sent out a thing, and then she told them let them spend this much, or there was a cutoff that once the limit of people came in and it was at that $500. I'm just throwing out a number, at that $500 limit. She was like, okay, no more.
Yeah.
Right. Which I think makes sense.
Yeah, because people are shitty.
No, they abuse people's kindness, and obviously she kept doing this because people hadn't abused it.
Right.
And last year was oh,
and she gets a good turnout.
$70. Okay, that was an asshole. No one's gonna do that to me again. But $200 fucking dollars.
Yeah, that's just rude as hell.
And I hope that they weren't a current client stringing her along.
Oh, I know.
They actually fucking bought something from her, because even then, that's not necessary. But
that's pretty good that she got 2 referrals. From it. She's getting stuff from it. It's worth her time, but
not for nothing.
Highly recommend a cap.
If she sent it to hundreds of past clients and they're all spending $6 to $14,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of fucking money to hopefully get a couple new clients.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It must work for her. I don't know. Everybody does something though.
I think giving back is huge in the real estate world, but I also don't think people that aren't in the real estate world realize how much it really does cost us to do something kind and genuine that people don't even think about.
Right. Yeah, no.
On top of all the other shit we fucking pay for.
Yeah, literally. I know. I say that all the time. I'm like, realtors are charged out the ass for everything. It's crazy. I'm like, I'm not a professional in any other industry, but I just can't imagine that every industry is like this, because you literally have to pay for fucking forms. You have to pay to be on the MLS. You have to pay for everything. It's crazy.
But then you get to watch Selling Sunset, and everyone thinks it's a breeze, and they just walk around in fucking pleaser heels. And
I'm going on a listing appointment, and then they have a buyer with them.
I'm in escrow. Never in escrow. That doesn't make sense. Money.
No, she is physically in the account with the money. She's in there.
That's where I want to be.
Yeah, same. Okay, we have one more. Are we ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
It's from Home Buyer, and it's horrible remax seller's agent. PSA, we have no problem with remax. This is literally just a Reddit story. We didn't write this.
Didn't write it, just reviewing it.
Yeah, we're just reading the content. The tea. We're serving you the tea. Seeking advice on an issue that has recently arisen during my home buying process. After a lengthy search of over 2 years, my fiance and I found a house that we want to make our home. We put in an offer, which the seller's agent indicated would be accepted if we increased it slightly. We agreed to this and then were informed that our offer was not chosen due to a late competing bid. 2 weeks later, the agent informed us that the deal with the other buyers fell through and invited us to resubmit our offer. We did so promptly, only to be told yet again that the previous buyers reversed their decision and were proceeding with the purchase. This roller coaster of events has been quite distressing, and it appears that our offer may have been used strategically to solicit a better offer from the other party. I have taken steps to report this conduct, but it would be greatly appreciated if any advice you could offer on how to navigate such situations or prevent them in the future. Your experience and insight would be greatly appreciated. Edited to add, we do have a dedicated agent ourselves.
Okay, so being on the side of having someone pull their offer and then remake their offer and then trying to get a backup offer, and like that has literally happened to me. So part of me feels like it's maybe not the agent's fault. They were just scrambling not to let their deal fall through. I can see it from the buyer's side, thinking like they got really fucked around, because yeah, that's not cool in any which way. And like, since this one instance, I have learned to like let the dust settle before I even reach out to any other party to like get another offer or try and like piece things back together. So I think maybe it was a learning curve for this agent, but I can see it from both sides.
Right.
Like, I don't think malice was the intent.
No.
But I think I'm hoping this agent was like learning that you don't just
go back and forth quickly.
Yeah, you gotta let the dust settle before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel bad for both sides.
I do too. I agree though. Like, I don't think that the agent is like being terrible. I think that they are trying to keep everybody happy.
Right, and like I think that's hard because you get stuck in like the crosshairs of like, oh my god, I need to use this backup offer, but then you have these other people that like, and it's everyone's so high on emotion during.
Unfortunately,
like,
I mean, it is emotional. You're buying a very big
So
purchase.
I think like emotions don't help because you're like I've had the same party walk away and come back 4 times in the matter of like 48 hours before closing day. So I get like where this agent was coming from and just trying to fix things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just a shitty situation.
Yeah.
Everyone's so high on emotion, and it's like, moral of the story, you just gotta let things settle.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard not to jump into action. I feel like because you want to keep your clients informed and you want to make sure that you're not wasting time, so that you're able to do everything. But it does, you definitely have to learn when you need to take a little time to wait it out, and when it is appropriate to be like immediately like, hey, this is the situation. It's hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely taken me 2 or 3 times to be like, okay, just let shit settle.
No, and it's like it's not a perfect science, and even still, like you could wait it out, and
God forbid that one time you actually do let the dust settle and somebody like everything falls apart.
Yeah, and then it looks like you weren't on top of it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I feel like people think that agents are robots.
Yeah,
you're not,
and we are. Thank you, Google, for making the search time it's like 0.00 of a millisecond to get thousands of results, and now people think that we are also a Google search engine.
Yeah. You guys are AI.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think there is a fine line too between like trying to make things happen super quickly.
Yeah. The top comment is, not sure who you think you're reporting this to, but there is nothing to report. It's called negotiating. The listing agent works for the seller. The listing agent is not on your side. as long as nothing was signed and then revoked from you, you don't know what's going on with the other offers. All you can do is put your best foot forward and hope that the best offer is presented. If you see a sales price after closing and think, I would have paid that, then you need to offer that in the first place. All negotiations are head game, and it takes a strong game to win the tough markets.
And the other thing too, the purchase price isn't always the most important thing to the seller.
Correct.
That other offer could have been $5,000 less, but it could have been cash.
It could have been cash.
Closed in a week.
Yeah, and it could have been like no contingencies.
Yeah.
It could have been like inspections waived.
Yeah.
People are crazy.
Well, and I mean, yeah, that's the thing. As a buyer, unfortunately, the seller runs the game.
Yeah.
That's just what it is, and they're gonna take what they want. And
if you want the house that bad, you're gonna go through the roller
yeah,
coaster.
when people say highest and best, you put your highest and best because no one's coming back to negotiate with the lowest offer.
No, in the market that we're in, I mean, I don't know where they are or what their market is like, but I know the market here, it's competitive, and the selection is minimal. Like, there's not a lot of houses on the market, so if you want that house, like,
and if your offer, that even if you pulled your offer, but your offer was still in the works, that, I mean, I'm sorry, but as a seller's agent, that's the offer that I would be, because that's the offer my seller wanted to begin with.
right,
So regardless of what they pull, I'm gonna try and negotiate with them.
get them what they want.
Yeah, you gotta please both sides. But it does bring up a good point, though. You'll never know what's going on with the other offers.
No.
You just can't.
Yeah. No, I don't see that being the agent's fault at all.
No.
They're just doing the damn thing.
Trying to make everybody happy.
Right.
It's impossible.
Oh, my robot.
All right, that's all I had for us today.
That's the tea.
That's the tea in Realty.
Join us next week.
Subscribe, like, follow. Find us on TikTok, Instagram. We're on all those things.
Ring the bell.
Spotify.
Spotify.
All right. See you guys.